Hello, I'm Hannah, and today is day 4 of the Manifesting Challenge. And today, the topic is related to some of the previous topics, in which I'm really, for whatever reason, touching on these topics of low points in manifestation or of converting a moment from where you don't understand it and it seems like a low point to something better, or being able to understand that. And my topic is actually similar to those themes. And this is the idea of having God on your side and seeing that God is a team player in your manifestation. And you probably already knew this, and if you don't use the language of God, then whatever your spiritual belief system is, you probably believe that there is a level of support for you. And I heard this idea today, and it was really about how when you're feeling down, that is actually the exact moment to ask for God's grace and God's guidance. And the reason for that is because when you're at your lowest, you're like, I don't even know what to do. I'm not sure what I'm doing. So whether that's because you're tired, or that's because things aren't working out, or you're stuck, you'll notice that you feel kind of helpless. And the reason that this is a time to call on God, which people will do, but there's kind of like an art to it. And that art is having humility and letting go of pride. And so what does it mean to let go of pride? Well, pride is this thing in which it means you are not open to receiving help. So pride can manifest as being proud that you do more work than other people. Pride can be, I can tolerate more pain than other people. Pride can be all these stories we tell ourselves about how we can go further or do more, or how we pretty much have walls up and we don't need help because we're proud that we can do this thing on our own. And yet we're in a position in which we actually feel low. And so when you're feeling low, the pride can inhibit you, because you might think, I have to do this by myself. You might even start to play stories in your head of, this is how I am. But your pride is the thing that's going to make you think, at least on some level, feel like, hey, but I'm the one who can do this. I'm the one who goes here. There's some salvaging of the ego that's occurring in order to help you like yourself. And this is the really big trap, is that it's not really about you. It's about you actually enjoying your experience and allowing yourself to trust what you're feeling in order to choose a different way. And pride will keep you stuck, and pride will keep you in the same area in which you're still living with circumstances that are not optimal, that don't benefit you, that don't serve you, that don't take you to where you really want to go. But because you're more attached to the pride, again, the ability to not ask for help or be open to help, you stay where you are. And so this is huge to manifesting, because that's the whole idea of manifesting. You don't have to do the work alone. You're not alone in this process, and you are a co-creator. So it means that as much as you are an agent in this game and you're creating things, there's also other creationary forces, and that biggest one is God. And the other levels are all the other beautiful synchronistic ways in which every other creator is working with this mechanism as well. And so it's almost like learning how to dance and to enjoy both sides, the active side, which is the masculine, and then the receptive side, which is the feminine. And for me, talking about manifestation and learning about all this stuff is what actually was like a gateway to me to really learn about femininity, which was very huge for me because I very much was raised in a masculine way, which most people, most women would agree to this. And, you know, through no fault of any one person, it's just kind of the system that we're in which, again, we laud masculine traits and we laud masculine abilities and forms of status, and that is something that we're working on. And we're taught to see male power, but we're quite blind to what is female power. And female power is very much about manifestation and receiving. And I would say another part of female power is that non-assertive force. It is the receptive, and it is the willingness to be influenced and to empathize and to feel and to have your feeling state, your emotional state influence and change depending on what and who is around you, insofar that you're open to that. And that openness and that vulnerability, which is very attractive in women. That's why women, you know, externally, we're very soft. Like, that is what the female body suggests. It suggests softness. And part of that is indicative of what female power is again, that receptive and vulnerable state. And it's really important to touch into this and know what that kind of female power is, because that really is the heart of manifestation. I mean, you do need the masculine for manifestation, and you also need the feminine. And so the feminine in this role is, okay, I'm going to let go of my pride. I'm going to do this in order to actually get help from God, or get help from whatever source it is, I would say God, that aligns with my belief system. And the only way you can do this is when you have humility and you are not attached to things looking a certain way and your ego feeling a certain way. You're actually more interested in asking for help genuinely and being flexible and saying, you know what, I don't know everything and I'm willing to change in order to go where I want to go. And that alone, that mentality shift alone, is really huge for manifestation, because what you say is, hey, you know what, I'm not the only one here. I don't need to be the only one here, and I'm actually not so prideful that I think that I know best. And that, I think, is really true faith, where you say, you know what, I believe that there is a power that knows more than me, that cares about me, that genuinely wants to help me, but can only help me if I genuinely and earnestly ask. Not ask out of kind of begging, and not asking to help me because they pity me, but because I am actually willing to be transformed. I'm willing to change with it, and I'm humble enough to let go of my attachment to the pride or to who I think that I am in order to go to the place that I want to go. And so to me, realizing and hearing this today, it was a really awesome thought, because I feel like the big emphasis here is that your focus is always on God and the positive, and you're still alive to your feeling state, you're still alive to your emotions, and you recognize them because those are your directional signals. And you are flexible and willing to be changed through the process in ways you can't know or see all the way. And I think it's really beautiful, because it's like just a wonderful reminder of as much as we want to be conscious and strive to build our consciousness to go to these higher levels of love and conscious experience, there's also this really beautiful element of faith and flexibility and these reminders at every point of the journey say, hey, you came here to exist, and part of the existence is not running away from the fear of the low points and not running away through addiction and isolation and pride, but by truly connecting. And it's when we truly choose to connect, whether it's to God or to people, and we allow ourselves to be changed by a situation, that we feel some of our greatest moments of fulfillment and joy. And I think that's very poetic. And I think it also really speaks to the manifestation process, because it really just changes your mindset in terms of the self-criticism you give to yourself when you go to a low moment, because you're no longer attached to the blame. And I'm sure you've experienced this growing up. I'm sure you saw all the ways in which adults around you and then the kids around you got so mad when there was a mistake or anything went wrong or anything like this. And part of what we're retraining ourselves and our nervous system is to not lose our shit over mistakes, to not lose our shit over, wow, this didn't work out, and so therefore you should feel really bad about yourself and you're a bad person. We're actually starting to change our association with that, because we know it's really non-productive, and it actually creates all these horrible feelings that, first of all, don't take you where you really want to go, and second of all, they make it worse. They actually make it worse. And because we're learning how to see these low moments and these moments of change as just parts of the cycle. And to me, it really is teaching how to exist in a harmonious way. And I think that is beautiful, and I'm grateful to have this awareness and be open to it, because my intention is to live a conscious life and to enjoy my life and to enjoy the path of the growth. So I'm gonna tail end it there and just say that, as a recap, the point of, this manifestation idea today is really about, when you're at that low point, ask for help from God and let go of your pride, let go of this idea that I need to be in control, or I'm attached to this image I have of myself, and just use it as a moment to talk to God and say, hey, I don't know what's going on, and I would really appreciate your help, and I trust that you know more than me, and I set the intention to let go of the ways in which I am attached to my pride and the ways in which my pride inhibits me from going to where I really want to go and from really experiencing the depth and beauty of this life, because I'm more interested in actually going to where I want to go than being right and being connected to my ego and being connected to my pride. And God is very receptive to that. And I think that is a really big part of the manifestation process, because it gives you energy, and it changes your emotional state, where you've moved from whatever blame game you're doing or self frustration or pity or whatever, to a state of, you know what, this isn't in my hands, and I'm giving this to God, because God knows more than I do. And this is a gift for me to learn how to let go and not feel the need to control everything, and to trust that maybe there is something really good that can come out of this. And that is a huge, huge lesson to learn in manifestation. Okay, so I am wishing you well. Thanks for joining me for this video today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.